Have you ever heard of a man who fed millions, became president of the United States, and was later blamed for one of the worst economic disasters in American history? That man was Herbert Hoover. Herbert Clark Hoover was born on August 10, 1874, in a small town in Iowa. He wasn't born into wealth or power. In fact, by the time he was 9 years old, both of his parents had died. He was orphaned and sent to live with relatives in Oregon. But Hoover was no stranger to hardship, and he never let it stop him. In 1891, he became part of the very first class at Stanford University, where he studied geology. He worked his way through college, doing everything from laundry to typing. After graduating, Hoover became a mining engineer and traveled the world from Australia to China, helping develop mines and building a fortune in the process. But money was never the only thing Hoover cared about. When World War I broke out, Hoover didn't pick up a rifle, he picked up a cause. He led massive humanitarian efforts, providing food to millions of war-stricken civilians across Europe. He became known as the Great Humanitarian. His leadership saved lives and earned him international respect. In 1921, he was appointed as Secretary of Commerce, and his reputation as a problem solver only grew. So when the 1928 presidential election rolled around, America saw Hoover as the man who could keep the country strong and prosperous. He won by a landslide, but just 7 months into his presidency, the stock market crashed. It was October 1929, and the Great Depression had begun. Hoover's reputation would never be the same. He tried to fix the economy. He cut taxes, expanded public works, and created the Reconstruction Finance Corporation to help banks and businesses. But it wasn't enough. Millions were unemployed. Families lost homes. Bread lines stretched for blocks, and people blamed Hoover. Shantytowns of the homeless were mockingly called Hoovervilles. The man who once saved millions from starvation now struggled to save his own country from economic ruin. In 1932, Hoover ran for re-election, but he was crushed by Franklin D. Roosevelt. Most people would have faded away after a defeat like that, but not Herbert Hoover. After leaving office, he continued to serve. He wrote books, advised presidents, and even helped reform the federal government. When World War II ended, President Truman asked Hoover to lead a mission to help feed war-torn Europe, just like he had done decades before. Hoover lived a long life. He died on October 20, 1964, at the age of 90. By then, people had begun to see him not just as the president during the Depression, but as a man who truly dedicated his life to service. His story is a reminder that leadership isn't always about applause. Sometimes, it's about standing firm in the storm even when the world turns against you.